This is the Painesdale Champion #4, part of the Copper Range Champion Mine. My favorite aspect is you kind of walk in and you feel the dust, you smell it. It's, everything's old, nothing seems to touch. Things hanging on the walls, signs. Up in the upper levels, there's writing, like handwritings on the wall, and so there's lots of just untouched corners of the building. And we haven't even gone through all this building yet. So when the mine left, they truly just turned it off and left. So the ore bin was full of rock here, and so you could have theoretically just turned everything on and just started back up again, if it would move. I'm Michael Prast, and I am the president of our nonprofit Painesdale Mine and Shaft. So we work to preserve and restore some of the structures here on site and then give tours as well. Myself, I did not grow up here. I came here for school and then ended up finding a job to stay. And so I volunteer here on my free time, but it's just because I love history. So I work professionally as a structural engineer. That helps me with the organization too, because I've done all the engineering on the upper levels. So anyone who's concerned about it, we did evaluate the engineering of all the existing steel and wood, and we replaced and fixed things that needed to be fixed and replaced to have public up there. This piece here has copper hanging off of it. This is a complete piece of copper here, and these were all found when we were emptying and dealing with the rocks up here to try and fix other structural issues. Our public tours start in this building here in the shaft house, take people up to the upper levels, tell them all the different machinery and everything that was going on up there, and then we walk everyone back down, and then we go to where the trains were loaded, then we go to the hoist house, and then we go to the captain's office, and so you get to see essentially the whole surface operation that happened here. This is our drop hammer. It's basically a big pencil-shaped piece of metal. It gets lifted up to the heights, and then just gravity drops it down onto the giant anvil on the floor, and breaks up pieces of rock like that. Where is it? Oh, here you go.
Oh, geez.
So
basically like a bullet.
Yep.
Oh,
where the rock from the drop hammer would come over. You can see all the steel plating like behind it that tries to protect the wood and everything's just all dented up and destroyed. So
yeah, so she's just...
Yep. Certainly made a mess. We've been able to kind of focus our efforts on the surface plants here because there's so many buildings around, and lots of other places do underground access, and those are great too. But we get to help to tell the other part of the story. We're the only ones who have public access up to the top of the shaft house and actively do tours of those areas. We kind of fit like right in the middle of a lot of the other popular things to do around here. So you can start at Quincy, Delaware, or Adventure Mine and go underground and see how copper actually got taken out of the ground. Then you would want to come here and you would see where it comes out of the ground and then goes up into the building and gets the processing and everything. So that's where we fit in, is right there. And then the trains would get loaded in the lower levels and then they'd go off to the stamp mill, and then you could go back to Quincy and go see the smelter, which is where it actually gets refined and put into the copper blocks and put on boats and trains to go out. So if you want to go in, you can see all sorts of things. The one you're pointing at right there is the last hoist written in. So that one's always very cool to be able to see. You learn a lot from history. It's important to look forward, but also you need to know where things came from, especially when you look at history up here. Like the copper mining was just so ingrained into that time period that most of the country knew about this place back when it was happening, because all the copper and everything went to the various war efforts that happened during those centuries, and electrification of everything came from here almost exclusively for quite a long time before mines even opened up anywhere else. And so I think it's kind of important to know kind of where all that comes from. And then I think just also the community that surrounds the history here. I've never met anyone who didn't, like the community up here. And I think just the people are ingrained in that history. And so when you learn more about the history, you learn more about the people of the area, and you kind of get an appreciation when you come from other things too, like the outdoor recreation and stuff like that. That a lot of this is all possible because of the mining. But then when you come down here, you come back and you can step into these spaces and just kind of see what it was like